We're back
Yeah.
with the J&J Show. We have a few things to talk about today, and we're going to get right into it. I'm going to kick it off with a talking point that nobody knows about called LASIK eye surgery.
Ooh.
Yes. I recently fell under the knife, so to speak, and had LASIK eye surgery done in, of all places, Kentucky. I'm just amazed that it took me this long in life to fix my vision. For like half the price of my last four-wheeler, I could have 20/20 vision. If I'd have known that it would have been just that quick and easy, and I mean, when I say quick and easy, I mean like I went in there thinking it was going to be this big ordeal.
It used to be a lot more
Oh my goodness, yeah. But I went in there and they're like, "Here's some Tylenol PM," and I'm like, "What's this for?" And they're like, "Because we want you drowsy when you leave here because we want you to go take a nap." I'm like, "Okay," and I go in there. They bring me in.
Just to give you like Vicodin and everything.
No, it didn't hurt. Your eyes, I guess, apparently that part of your eye doesn't have any like pain receptors or something. I don't know. But they straight up like cut a little section away and like moved the flap. And then it's weird. What I thought was weird is
watch it on YouTube. It's actually a really cool procedure.
I thought that they were going to do it all in one spot. Now I don't know if this was just the place we had it done, but they cut the flaps away on both your eyes, and then they're like, "Okay, now we're going to have you get up and come over to this other machine." And I'm like, I got up and I'm like.
You know what would be the worst?
I couldn't see. It was like when you get in the pool and you get like chlorine water in your eyes and it's all like completely blurry. My eyes were open, but it was all blurry.
What would be the worst is if like they were like, okay, here we go, and they're like doing the surgery, and then they like open up the flaps of your eyeball, and then like an apocalypse happens or something happens where like
no, that'd be the worst.
And you're stuck with like flaps on your eyeballs.
No,
and it's like halfway done, and you're like,
no, you wouldn't be stuck. Worst case scenario, you'd just be left the same way that you came in with the same vision in your glasses.
And because, eyeball flaps?
No, because the flaps, they don't do anything with the flaps. They cut the flaps. You go over and sit down at a different table where they move the flap out of the way and they let the computer find the exact center and they tell you to look at this dot with your other eye and they're like, okay, keep your eye open. And they're like 3, 2, 1, and it goes like, and you smell like burning protein. Like you smell like that burning smell, like burnt hair. And it's like, done. And then they're like, other eye. And then they put the flaps back down and kind of situate them how they're supposed to be. You sit up, the doctor looks at you and makes sure the flaps are where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
And then they send you home.
But the flaps.
They send you home.
Right, no. But what I'm saying is like in the middle of the procedure.
Yeah, in the middle of the they cut the flaps and they never put them back together.
They just leave them.
They leave you. They make sure they're situated good, kind of like Jell-O, like 2 pieces of Jell-O. And he looks at you and says, "Okay, they're seated properly. Go close your eyes. Your spouse or whoever it is with you brought you there. They're like, go ahead, go get in your vehicle and close your eyes. Go home and keep your eyes shut for about 4 hours. And in that time, your body heals the flap shut."
Nice. But what if your flaps healed the wrong way?
That's what your day after follow-up appointments for. So you go back in, they check your flaps, they make sure there's no flaps there, there's no sign of a flap, there was never a flap, it never happened.
I'm just curious as to what would happen is if the flaps didn't get
started flying away, like flapping.
Yeah, or just like your eyeball, like just
some person gives like a 1-star rating on LASIK eye surgery. My flaps were flapping,
and they blink, but it's like those alien blinks in the sci-fi show where like covers their eyeball, and then they blink with their eyelids. It's like a double blink.
They blink this way, and then the flaps go.
Yeah.
So nasty.
Yeah, and so you'd be like this eye flapper.
I'm assuming that they tell you to go lay down and take a nap, not go open your eyes as wide as you can and shake your head.
Yeah, but what if you take a nap and you're like sleeping really heavy and then you have REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement.
As long as your eyes are shut, they can move around in there.
Okay. Well, hey, sounds pretty easy. I'm gonna go get one. I'm gonna go do it.
It was really.
I want to get my eyes.
The whole thing took less than 10 minutes, from when I got in there to when they were done with it.
Yeah. And
then the next day I checked in, and I will say that don't underestimate how dry your eyes will get. Like for the next month, you'll just be eye dropping like 10, 15 times a day.
Why is that?
Well, first of all, for the first week afterwards, not only are you supposed to use eye drops once an hour on the hour, you're also supposed to use 3 or 4 times a day. You're supposed to use the antibiotic eye drops, which also lubricate.
Oh, yeah.
So you're putting like 12 to 18 times you're putting drops in your eyes. I don't know why, but your eyes are just really dry after the procedure.
Oh well, I mean, like
Maybe it's because it's healing and it's using.
if you're
up
putting all of those lubricating drops in your eye, you
They
think your eyes
they
would
dry
be.
up pretty quick after. Like you put the drops in, and then within like 20 minutes, you're like, need more drops. And like there's for some reason I don't know why, but they
It's
tell you
weird.
that your eyes are going to be dry. So you do have to use drops and stuff.
I was
But
actually, I'm actually thinking about doing it.
telling you,
Cheyenne wants to also do it, so we're gonna next time we go
Cheyenne doesn't wear glasses.
after this whole. No, she doesn't, but she should for sometimes. But
Is she like my daughter just got glasses and we realized that we kind of were skeptical. We took her in and it's hard to get an optometrist appointment done on a kid that can't read. And so they're like, tell me what these animals are at a distance down the hallway. And they put up little like shapes, like silhouettes of cows and stuff. And they hope that the 3, 4, 5-year-old can tell you that. And they use that as a like eye exam, which to me seems kind of sketchy. Like I can't tell some of those blobs with 20/20 vision what they are. But anyways, they got her glasses. They were pretty thick. And I'm like, man, these are thick for a 5-year-old. How did they know? Whatever. And of course you can't test it. Like, is it better with the glasses on, honey? And she's like, oh yeah. Or is it better with it off? And she goes, oh yeah, it's good. So it's like, how do you tell? So one day we're driving along
sounds like
and
right.
she forgot her glasses at the in-laws place in Kentucky. And we're driving along and we're like, look out the window, guys. What do you see? And there were a bunch of cows. No, there were a bunch of horses out the window on the car. And Araya looks out her window and she goes, oh, I see them. They're llamas. And then she says, or
llamas.
Or they're cows. Or horses. And then I look back and I realize, where's your glasses? And she's like, I forgot them at the house. We went back and got them. We're driving past the same place. And she goes, oh, look, they're horses. So I'm like, I guess the glasses work because she confirmed that she knows what the animal that is.
She knew for sure, beyond a shadow of a doubt, at that point.
Llamas?
You could hear the assurance in her voice.
Cows?
They're horses. Those are definitely horses. She didn't have the definitely before
No.
because she wasn't sure.
She guessed llamas, first guess.
That's awesome.
So-
I like how she's 5 and she knows like what a llama is. I don't think that I knew what a llama was when I was 5.
Yeah, so anyways, LASIK, good. Glasses, bad.
So Shine and I are thinking about doing the LASIK eye surgery next time if this whole thing kind of blows over and we can
I'm
actually
pretty
go
sure you
around.
have to have a glasses prescription or know what that is before you just
Yeah.
jump straight to LASIK surgery.
I wear
I know, but
I'm wearing it right now.
Cheyenne does.
No, she's gonna get a prescription and like go do an appointment stuff. But yeah, she was
She
saying
seems to have pretty good vision, like
Her
all the
vision,
time. She
no.
always like points out stuff and corrects me at a distance.
I wish I could confirm with her right now, but she's dealing with Judah. But yes, no, she was talking about how she would like to also because her vision, like I will see things and she'd be like, "You could see that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm wearing my contact lens." And she's like, "Oh."
She's like, I want to correct my vision. Well, do you wear glasses? No, but I know it's bad, so I don't want to fix. I'm just gonna skip the glasses. We all wear glasses our whole life. And she's like, I never wore glasses, and I never want to.
Actually, I didn't start wearing glasses until I was 17, 18. Sometime during masters, I started wearing contact lens. But my vision has been getting worse every time I get
Mine too. Mine is getting worse
appointment.
every time.
I'm getting tired of it.
I'm just want to say, I'm just going to pause this episode and point out.
Wait, are we pausing the episode?
No,
or are we just
we're
doing like a side note.
We're doing a
that
segue.
Okay. Oh, just something completely.
I would much rather be drinking coffee out of this mug. There's something psychological about lifting a coffee mug with like a tannish, brownish fluid, thinking you're going to be drinking coffee, only to drink pineapple juice. It messes with your brain. Anyways.
Yeah, well, the cup is yellow, so
I've been drinking coffee out of this mug ever since I got it, and now
you act like you've had that mug for like 15 years.
I've had this mug for at least 15 days. I've had this mug for.
You're like, yeah, I've just after years of drinking from this coffee every morning religiously, I have pineapple juice. It's just throwing me off.
Okay, so if you were a coffee drinker, I would love to swap your coffee for pineapple juice. See what it does to you.
I'm gonna start drinking coffee. Hopefully tomorrow morning.
Hopefully, you just do it. It's not like this. Like, hopefully, it'll work out. You lift it to your mouth.
Well, here's the thing. I'm trying a cup of your Mexican coffee tomorrow morning, and if I like it, I'll keep drinking it, and then I'll start drinking coffee. But if I don't like it, I'll say this was a terrible idea, and I'll probably wait another year to try again.
No, what you do is you drink the coffee and then you wait to see if you like the effects. If you're more awake and alert and chipper and you realize you got 2 hours of sleep with your crying child.
I've never had an issue waking up in the day after drinking plenty of water and eating some food. That has always woken me up.
No, let me clarify. Waking up before like a certain time of the day.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
earlier in the
It
day.
doesn't matter how early I get up. Once I eat, I'm like awake for the rest of the day. Now, the 2
Are you
hours.
talking post Judah or pre Judah?
Both. Like the 2 hours before I eat that it takes me to build up an appetite, yeah, I'm exhausted. I'm like tired out of my mind. But then once I work up an appetite and I eat, then I'm ready to go.
It's got pulp.
Yeah, dude, pineapple.
Pineapple pulp.
You don't like pineapple?
I don't know.
It's like little
I didn't
chunks.
expect it
It's like
to
little
have
itty bitty chunks of pineapple in your pineapple juice, just like orange. It works the same way as oranges.
Oh, okay. Moving on, we have a YouTube channel, as we mentioned before. In our
We're
opening.
YouTubers now.
We do have a YouTube channel where we're putting this content onto the World Wide Web for you guys to view at your leisure. Just look up the J&J Show. You'll see our logo with 2 red J's, J and J.
And there's like little radio frequency signals going off of the.
You can't miss us. All of our videos
They kind of look
have
like weird
us,
eyebrows.
Us right on the front. You can't miss us. But we also have a Facebook page. Check that out. If you guys would like to hear any particular content or you want us to talk about a particular topic, please let us know. We will talk about it. We will talk it to death.
Mm-hmm. We're talkers.
We will talk it till that horse dies, and then we will kick it repeatedly for an entire episode.
And
I'm
then-
not going to guarantee it.
And then we'll bury it. But then we'll dig it back up again.
in like season
pull
3.
it out, and then start kicking it again. And then we'll bury it somewhere else. In the ocean.
So what's this YouTubers?
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, us?
Yeah.
I thought you had some YouTubers you wanted to talk about, but we were the YouTubers.
No, because we were
wow.
I was gonna say, like, now that we have a YouTube channel.
Hey, I just want to say here that we have 2 views on one of our videos. So
Dude,
probably
there we
like-
go. Now we're in business. It reminds me of the.
what's crazy is both of our parents are still alive, right? Both of my wife's parents are alive, and your wife's parents are alive. So we should at least have 6 plays per episode, right?
I don't know if Cheyenne's parents know about the J&J Show.
Wow.
I mean, all I have to do is mention it, send them a link, and then they're.
We should have them on as guests.
So anyway,
Okay, moving on
no,
to
the 2 views reminds me of the video with the Thor Ragnarok extra videos. Have you ever seen those with the Grandmaster? And he's in that apartment.
Yes.
And he's like, he makes a video and he's like, I have come here to Earth and I'm going to be your ruler. And then you put it on YouTube and then they got like 1 hit. And he's like, oh, we got a hit. It's like, that was us reviewing the video. He's like, oh, okay.
wait a minute, that seriously is a possibility.
And then they like watched it again. It's like 2 hits, and he's like, "There we go. Now we're in business." And he's like, "Yeah, no, this isn't good." He's like, "What we should do is make another video promoting our original video." And it was funny because we should do that.
I think those 2 views are us watching our own content.
I haven't
So,
seen it yet.
To save us this hilarity and embarrassment, click it and watch it. Just let it run in the background. Just like click it and set your phone down and do whatever you're doing. That works too. A lot of YouTubers are like, subscribe and click the little bell and give us a thumbs up. All I'm asking is that you click play on the video and then just disregard and let it play all the way through. Could you do that? Just
You might find that you just might like what you hear.
once in a while,
Or
you might hear something and be like, hey, wait, they're talking about something interesting for a few seconds. Let's back it up.
Yeah,
Say maybe. Who knows?
you never know.
Upcoming shortly, and well, not really shortly. We think it's coming up shortly, but it can never come quick enough. Summer, which brings fishing, and when fishing's done and summer's done, we get hunting season.
It's still so far away.
It seems like it's right around the corner, but we got a lot of fishing to do.
So yeah.
King salmon, fishing net. Those of you who've never run a fishing net, I encourage you, get out there and do it. Yeah. Even if you're in like the middle, like if you're in the lower 48 and you have like a big lake, just take a big net out there.
Mhm.
See what, I would love to see like a game warden come by and see some lower 48 person in one of those big lakes where people normally just go hunt, fishing for like trout and stuff, and they have
Or
like
swimming.
and they have like 100-foot, 100-foot salmon
like
net,
a seining net.
and they just pull it behind their boat. What are you doing? The J&J show told us to.
Yeah. I used to say, and then they should say, I'm providing for my family and my friends. Okay.
Hey, you know what?
Because I'm a hunter,
Push
fisher,
this-
gatherer.
Let's push this Corona thing a little farther, and everybody will be doing that.
This thing better not. I mean, okay. Another. It's time for our daily, or every time I do an episode, I say something insensitive. on
Yes,
accident
it
about
seems
the
to be
J-
your thing.
about the coronavirus. I don't know if this is skirting the edge. I hope this isn't too insensitive, because I know a lot of people are dealing with this, and loved ones have been lost and all that stuff, and it is definitely a bad thing.
You're backpedaling before you front pedal. I've never seen that.
But
But that's amazing.
crap better not blow over into my hunting plans. Like I just am saying right now, if it's fall time and we're still dealing with this crap, I am going to lose. I
don't know.
Lose
Okay,
it.
hold on. I don't know how that would be a thing. What are they going to do? Travel all the way out from Fairbanks or from Fort Yukon or whatever? They're going to travel to the far reaches of the middle of nowhere. You've taken a group of people who were self-isolated in Fort Yukon, about as far away from civilization as you can get, and then you leave there and go for hours into the woods to where you're the only human being in miles and miles and miles of country. How would that not be?
Somehow the government will find a way to harass and make it difficult. Okay,
They fly out there, ticket you. You're supposed to be
There's
at
a-
home. There's a hunker down.
there's going to be 3 times as many planes flying overhead looking for people. They're going to be like,
And they're not going to be trying to get people from poaching. They're just going to stop people from hunting in general.
yeah, they're like, you're supposed to be in your home.
You're supposed to be in your home,
supposed to
hunkered
be
down.
quarantined and self-isolating. It's like, what do you think I'm doing right
In
now?
the middle
There's
of the
not
woods.
supposed to be anybody within 100 square
But
miles.
luckily, I think we're safe. I've seen so many people out trapping and folks getting like one of our local guys here has been getting wolves
I'll
and
probably still get stopped by the local gay people.
just for your license. It's amazing.
Okay, every year I get checked on for my fishing license when I'm out fishing, and for my hunting license and my tag and everything when we go hunting. I brought back it was like the past 2 years when I brought back a moose. The game warden person was like there on the spot at the bank to check my license and my tag, and I was like, oh yeah, right here.
It's like the only one too.
And nobody else I know has
I've never been.
checked,
I've never had anything.
and it's just me. And so
But he has the
It's-
face of a poacher, doesn't he?
it's my burden to
He
bear.
has the face of a poacher. It just looks like you're out there doing something shady. You're out there trying to kill everything you see and go past your bag limit, which isn't really realistic because anybody who knows him knows that he likes to hunt the animals, but he doesn't really like to eat the animals. So he's like, oh, I got a moose. Here you go. I'm going to keep the head.
give the meat.
But that's good for me because we get a lot of moose in our freezer. and-
Well, no, I do really like moose pot roast. It's delicious. I like moose stew. No, it's true. That rhymed. Burger. I'm not a huge fan of the burger, but I do like the moose ribs. Cheyenne made some delicious moose ribs the night before last, and I just
How'd you cook them?
like deliciously. I don't know. She like boiled them or did something with them, or I don't know. I have to ask her. Maybe I'll have her on your next episode.
What'd they taste like?
They tasted like delicious moose ribs, okay, with barbecue sauce.
Were they
seasonings.
spicy? Were they tender? Did they fall
They
off
were-
the
they were-
bone? Did they?
They weren't as tender. But she's got an idea to make them even more. She's gonna let them sit longer and make them more tender next time. But they were delicious, and they weren't like super hard. It wasn't super hard, like super chewy. It was good, and they had a little bit of spice, but she just put a lot of seasonings on them. But anyway, they were delicious, and I love the moose ribs.
Did she use the big long ones or the short rib? Did she cut them?
She used the shorter
Okay.
ones. Yeah.
We made the mistake of having moose ribs once, and we had to package them, and we're like, well, they're not going to fit in the package shortwise or sideways. So we put them in there long ways, but when you put them in there long ways, the bag's only about that thick, so you can only put about 4 ribs.
Yeah.
But you put 4 ribs in a bag, and each rib is
They're like this long. We were vacuum sealing these bags. They're like this long with moose ribs, and it looked like you open up the freezer and it looks like the Flintstones, and it just like
And we
vacuum
cooked
sealed the
them up with-
dinosaur.
We did it one time. We did. Dad was here, remember?
Yeah.
And we cooked them up in they're almost as wide as the oven. and we cooked them up, and we like seasoned them and everything. And you go to put one on your plate, and your plate is here, and the ribs hang off on either side of the plate.
You like grab the rib
You
like
pick
that.
it up, and you're like, "Are you eating ribs or doing pull-ups?" I don't know. So
Definitely, if you want to feel like brutal, savage.
all you need
like,
is one rib. That's the whole meal
caveman.
too. Like
Yeah.
the meat that's on that one rib is like it's like a natural shish kebab with no veggies or anything, just a long thing of meat
And it'll get like your face, like
everywhere.
the back of your head, like everything will
Yeah.
be covered in barbecue.
And then when you're
sauce
done, you have a very deadly weapon that you can use. Just sharpen that rib bone, and you have a
I
spear.
think that's what the cavemen. That's what
Yeah.
they did back in like in the early days of human
It was
history.
insane
They would eat a big rib, and then they used the rest of it once the meat was all
to
off
go get their next
to
rib.
hunt the next. Yeah, they didn't waste anything. They used everything, including the ribs.
What is the equivalent of that? It's like buying a Big Mac and then exchanging the cardboard box for another Big Mac.
You grind the cardboard into the meat for the next Big Mac.
No, you the recycling program. You're like, here, I'll give you the box back, and you give me another sandwich.
Yeah, it's totally the same.
See, it
thing.
doesn't work. Nature just has a way of making things work. You know, you harvest an animal, and you get what you need to live, and harvest another animal from that animal.
Yep, and then when the hunting gets harder and the animals adapt, then you have to go into technology and figure out new ways of killing things.
I don't think
and
it's really
hunting
fair to
things.
say that animals adapt.
They don't adapt nearly like
No,
humans do.
Because you see guys who still like bow hunt and
they
spear hunt.
just
and-
move away.
yeah,
they're
but
like,
I mean,
"That's-
there's guys out there that spear hunt
Yeah,
still with a spear.
Yeah.
They hide in a tree over like a game trail, and then they like
I will tell you right now, if I had a spear with that moose behind us, when this moose was like 5 feet in front of me, I couldn't.
Would you have
I could
tried that?
lanced
Would
it
you have
right in the-
tried-
Yes.
if you had a gun and you had a spear,
If I had a spear right there,
Yeah,
I would have
but-
tried lancing it right in the chest. He was so
but
stinking
you would
close
have
to
run
me.
the
I was like,
risk that the thing would have just trampled you, and you'd have been in a fight. Your gun would have fallen to the side, and you'd been in a fight with a moose with a spear in hand.
epic story if I survived.
If you survived.
Epic. Even if I got some broken bones and like
I'm pretty sure a moose with
bruises.
this on their head could give you more than a few broken bones. He could pick you up and fling you across the river.
into the river, yeah, no, like he was when he saw me though, he was running. He wasn't gonna handle any of
Did you?
this.
Do you think you shot him
I
the
was-
first time?
Oh
or just
yeah,
swooped him?
absolutely. No, I
Because
absolutely
he
shot him.
took torn and ran at you.
I absolutely shot him. I was 14 yards from him.
I know, but you maybe hit your scope.
No,
That's wrong or
no,
something.
I was resting my barrel on the camping chair. I was perfectly still, and I shot him at 14 yards, right
At that
in
close,
the sweet spot.
how did you know it was a
Boom,
sweet
boom.
spot? Did you zoom your scope all the way back out?
Well, because when he ran up the trail, there was blood.
I know,
all
but
along
how
the
did you
trail.
know? Like when you use your scope on something so close, all you see in the scope is just fur. How did you know you were in the
I
sweet
had
spot?
to sweep.
So you
I had to
adjusted.
spin
You had
it.
time to adjust it. While
Yeah.
you were,
Oh,
you're like,
yeah,
oh,
he-
way right there.
It took him like 2 to 3 minutes to get to that point,
Oh.
and he was breaking through the woods, and I knew he was going to be really close, so I turned my scope up all the way down as far as I could, and then I just waited till he came around that birch tree, and I was just like, okay, as soon as he comes, and I saw him, and yep, right there,
Bam.
sweet spot, boom,
Boom.
nailed him, and then he
Bam.
ran right at me, and then when he saw me, he was like. Eyes got super big, and he stopped and he turned around, did a complete 180, and ran back down the trail. And so, but man, at that point when he stopped and saw me, if I had a spear, I would just been like, "Ugh." that would have been like the coolest thing. Because then you put in the tag in the report, the harvesting
Method of
report,
kill.
method of kill, and then I just been like a freaking lance.
I
like-
speared him like my ancestors.
like on Napoleon Dynamite when he's like, when he's talking about hunting wolverines and he's like, what'd you use? He's like, a freaking 12 gauge. What do you think? It's like I would have felt like Napoleon Dynamite, like, I used a lance. What do you think? Yeah.
Is it a lance or a spear?
A lance, a spear.
Isn't a lance what they would put on the long pole? And they
You're
would-
right, you're right. Or a pike, right?
Like,
Yeah.
anyway, so we're looking forward to that. Typically, after a moose hunt that goes well and there's a big harvest and you have a lot of time and effort pulling in the moose, typically, I don't know about you, but for me, it's a few months before I'm like, I want to go and do that again. Maybe that was just that 1 year that burned me out completely, where we just were doing too much moose for everybody and everybody's stuff.
we were making up for years of not seeing it.
Yeah, but we weren't personally making up. We were helping other people make up for years of not getting one, right? We took 2 people out to get their first moose ever.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
But then we all got ours.
Yeah, so-
Dad got his, you got yours, I got mine.
that was a year. That was, the absolute last year.
2018, the year of legend.
Yeah. The year it rained moose.
Yeah, that was
That would be horrific.
raining moose. That would be like a world-ending event for
Apocalypse.
some sort of
The moose apocalypse.
whatever unfortunate, unsuspecting town or city had to deal with raining moose. You're not even safe in your homes because they'll crash through the roof
Right through
and
the
then
roof.
through the floor.
And then through to the basement.
boom, that's
Yeah.
like 1,500
And then
pounds.
the impact
it's like a
crater
car
would-
dropping
the
on your
impact
house.
would just wipe out the walls would just blow out of your house. It'd just be,
And then you'd be angry because they fell
Yeah.
from the sky. So then they'd get up.
and then of course there's the organic nature of just blood and guts everywhere. So the cleanup is horrific. It wouldn't be like a big rock falling through. It'd just be like do all the damage and then leave everything soaked in blood and guts.
hmm
Sounds like a movie. Sounds like a movie that went straight to iTunes.
Well, like Sharknado. It's like that. We could do that. Like we could pitch this movie idea to the people that made Sharknado.
Moose Storm.
Yes, I love it. Eye of the Moose. Storm.
Eye of the Moose Storm. NATO.
Dude.
Also, lately here in Fort Yukon, we have or we're close to approaching our community-wide quarantine. It is going to be up
Being
soon.
lifted.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be
April
lifted.
30th?
I think no. They said April 17th they were going
April
to
17th,
reconsider it, but the
re-
problem was even with the people that came back from town, we've had the community isolated for 2 weeks. And
There's-
so they were going to
and nobody has
lifted of
shown
some
any
sort?
symptoms.
So that now we're down there saying that it's going to go till the 30th or something, and who knows what. So, anyways, how are you guys coping with the quarantine? What are you doing to stay sane? What are you doing to keep food on the table, or are you what's going on?
Tell us
what's
in the comments
what's
below.
below?
If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook,
You can still tell us in the comments below.
that's true.
That's true.
Just because everybody has
Everybody
it set
has the
up.
comments below.
It's good.
Nobody wants to watch a video that they can't put their input on. I mean,
Do podcasts have a
no, but they should. No, they do, don't they? Can you make
on the
can you make
podcast app?
can you make comments on people's podcasts? I don't even know.
I think you can.
I've never listened to anybody's podcasts where I made comments on it. I don't think so. I can't make any comments on my podcast.
Well, you have to click on the actual episode, I think.
Then we're downloading.
Life in the village.
No comments. No comments at all. That's okay. Make comments on Facebook and YouTube. Then
Mhm.
that's how you can answer our questions. So,
Yeah.
anyways, moving on to
Well, I was just thinking too, like actually talking about things on social media or apps and different things. We talked a little bit about apps on the last episode, but I said you were talking about iTunes
yes.
and how iTunes has like the different things categorized, movies, music videos, all that stuff. And then they do have like a section just for your ringtones and text tones. But I thought it would be cool if they had like their own dedicated app specifically for text tones and ringtones, and you call it iTones instead of iTunes. It's iTones.
Hmm.
What do you think?
I think
Because they're making everything its own thing now, aren't they? Like TV's its own thing on Apple.
I don't want another app. I was upset when
Yeah,
we had this consolidated thing that was working well called iTunes that had your media and everything,
Everything
one
was-
under one roof, perfect. And they're like, let's make this into 3 separate apps because that's what people want. They want more apps cluttering up every page of their mobile device, their computers. Let's spread it out into multiple apps.
Well, what about because one thing is like, for years I was like, I used iTunes specifically just for music, and I didn't really use it for movies or videos or like anything else. It was just music. I didn't even use the podcast thing. I didn't use I rarely used the text tone. It was just for music. And so it's kind of maybe they were thinking maybe a lot of people just wanted one facet of it and the rest was
I don't
kind of
know.
wasted on them.
I don't know. It's okay if it's wasted on them. Oh, so the app I'm using has potential to do more than I want it to. Oh no. I mean, what was the thinking there?
I don't know.
So it was dumb. It was dumb. Not only was it dumb, but now iTunes doesn't have a place on there that I can find. If you guys are like tech gurus or whatever, and you know what I'm talking about, I can't find it. Like it says, view only downloaded music, correct. I want to view only my downloaded music. So I go to I go to artists and I click on a song and I go to play it and it started downloading. It started trying to download it when I went to play that song. And I'm like, well, I have only downloaded music selected. But anyway, that's just my own personal frustration
Well,
with
we've had people suggest like Apple Music
Oh,
and
Apple Music.
streaming and
I
Pandora,
hate it so much.
and it's like, yeah, you guys should just do like you should just stream your music and just subscribe and just pay monthly and like stream music whenever you want to listen to it. You can listen to anything. And it's like,
no.
Clearly, you've never
Okay.
been to a place
Let's just break it down here.
that
iTunes
has really slow internet.
the iTunes Music junkola. I cannot figure out why half the songs in my iTunes library say that they're downloaded, but when I click to play them, it opens up iTunes Music to play, and it tries to download it for. It tells me to subscribe to listen to a song I already have downloaded on my device.
Yeah.
I've had times where I really want to listen to a song, and I literally was like, I want to chuck my phone and iTunes Music out into the snow.
Cheyenne has Pandora, and we try to listen to music, and it like works sometimes, but a lot
It's
of
a
times
no-
it'll be in the middle of a song, and we're like getting into it. We're like, let's do it. It's like, They're like, I'm like, what happened? Is it an ad or is somebody calling you, texting you? She's like, nope, it's the internet. It's not fast enough. It's buffering. I was like,
Well, nowadays too, songs are like, I went to download a song and it was 7 megabytes
yeah.
for like a 3-minute song. So
But when you're not only like me, I'm a little OCD in certain ways, not in everything, but there's certain things that I'm very OCD in. And being a musician, I can't. There's things about music that like I can't stand. Like one of the my worst music pet peeves is like if you're playing a song, and it's like within the last minute of the song, I have to listen to the rest of the song. Like if you cut the song out before it's over, I'll be like,
you're over.
your life is over. Turn it back on. Go back to that point. It was at 56 seconds left. Play the rest of the stinking song.
Let it roll.
And so like and just a song. I know nobody likes a song just cutting out right in the middle of a song, and then you're like waiting. It's like pause, and then it comes back in, and then it plays for another 17 seconds, and then it pauses again. But for me, I feel like it's like extra irritating for me because I'm like very.
You're that kind of guy. I was listening to some podcasters and they were talking about a person that gave a club a 1-star rating on Yelp and like this big negative review. And the place is great. Everybody else is giving it 5 stars. And this negative reviewer gave it a 1 star because the DJ went to a different song before the other song was over.
Oh.
And they, like,
I would throw something at them.
But that's what a DJ is supposed to do. They're not supposed to let every track. They're not a radio host. They're not supposed to let every track play out. They're supposed to like mix it up. And
Right.
If they're mixing,
if
people are
it's-
dancing. You want to
I know. I'm saying this is what I'm saying. Like if the song is clearly over or it's like coasting down.
right.
it
Or
is
what if
fine.
there's a song that like the first half is really like
Okay.
danceable, but the last half is like
They-
switch it up, move to a different
yes,
song.
yes, and there's a right way to do that.
Yeah, they mix it in, but
You
this
fade
lady,
it out
No,
and-
they did it perfect. But this lady was like, they didn't play the last verse of my favorite song or whatever. And it just like totally like 1-star rating for a whole entire restaurant,
I mean,
club, like everything. Just like
there's a way to do it.
I don't know. It just seems to me like that.
Yeah.
Like that was. I mean,
I will not deny that even if it was
people
done,
can be petty. I'm just saying people can be petty.
I'm just saying, I will not deny that even if the transition was perfect and everything was great and they did a great job switching, part of me would still be irritated that I didn't listen to the rest of the song.
All right,
especially
1-star Yelper.
especially if it was a song that I liked, or it was like one of my favorite songs, or it's a song I really got into, or a song I really liked. I would part of me would be annoyed, but I would get over it, and I do. So
One other thing I wanted to
I
talk
wouldn't
about.
write a 1-star review for that. That's stupid.
One other thing I want to talk about real quick. What do you guys think about all this? And I don't know what you think. I mean, I already know what you think, but all this like
Oh, you do.
all this crap with people getting like ticketed and stuff for literally just driving around, going for a walk in outside their house during this quarantine time stuff. Like literally people trying to like pull over and give people tickets and stuff because they're disobeying the government mandate. It's like since when do you like it's the law now? I mean, I thought it was like a CDC recommendation, staying home, and then the different areas started doing the mandate, and now it's like, no, it's against the law. You'll get a fine, even if there's no health risk to anybody. There's people getting fined. There's people getting fined who were just out for a drive because they wanted to get out of their house, and they said, we're going to stay in our car, we're going to drive around town a little bit and drive home. We're not going to get out. We're not going to go shopping. We're just trying to like just get out of the house for a little bit and keep our sanity. I think there's a huge part of society that's being overlooked here, and it's called the entire mental health profession. You know what I mean? we for years we've heard endlessly about anxiety and depression and suicidal thoughts and all this stuff. And I guess this whole like stay in your home, hunker down crap is completely throwing that out the window. Like, we don't care about your mental health now. We don't care any. Like, just stay in your home. Like, even if you could go for a walk or you could go for a drive and improve your mood and not threaten anybody with the coronavirus that you don't have. Even if you could do that, you're not allowed to. No, it's to me, it seems more about control and less about common sense, right? Like, if it was about controlling the virus, then you'd say, yeah, anybody who wants to drive around, stay in your car, go for a drive, and see the sunshine or whatever. Yeah, do that and then go back home. You never made contact with anybody. You're fine.
I think part of it, like, obviously, yeah, I mean, that's stupid. I think it's stupid. That, and also the fact that I think there's such a prevalent. It just seems like there's such this spirit of fear over everybody
It's
about
oppressive.
this. Yeah, it's like this fear of like, oh no,
If I go outside my door, like, it's
we've had, like, looking back on all the different like diseases and plagues and things that have afflicted humanity, even in America, like, there's things that have been much worse than this, and there wasn't near there. I don't think there was ever the level of fear that there is now in society today.
Yeah.
Like, people are so terrified. Of
and
this.
if before you start saying, "Oh no, it's 10 times worse than the flu," I just need to point out that the news has been putting out facts, and even if you take 100% of the facts from mainstream media as truth, they've kind of shot themselves in the foot, and here's why. I don't know if you want to do the math in your little sketch pad. They say it's 10 times more deadly than the flu, and they're saying the current death rate right now, according to the numbers, it's infection versus deaths is a 1.7% death rate, which is supposedly 10 times higher than the flu, because the flu has a 0.1, death rate. Then the same outlets and the same mainstream media are saying, because of the lack of testing, because of the lack of being able to know who has it, and because of its R naught, its infectability, basically, we can safely estimate, based on normal population movement and stuff prior to the lockdowns and all that, we can safely estimate that 10 times the number of people tested have it. So if you take the number of people who are infected and multiply times 10 and then factor in the death rate, that brings the coronavirus that's going to bring the coronavirus death rate down to 0.1. So if it's 10 times more deadly than the flu, and 10 times more people have it than we think have it and haven't died, that means it's just as deadly as the flu. I mean, that's how the math works. So the only thing that we'll be able to tell, and sadly, I keep saying it's a sad thing, but the only thing that will be able to tell the real death rate and the mortality rate of the coronavirus is the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's estimated 10 times more people out there that have it, that don't know they have it. And until they either get better or worse or die of it, we won't know what the real death rate is. As of right now, it's 1.7. Those other 90% of the people that have it that we don't know about, if they don't die, or a good percentage of people die, then the death rate is really going to be around 0.1 or something like that, which is comparable to the flu at that point.
And I was reading some, there was this post on Facebook that I was seeing. A friend of ours was commenting on it or posted it or something about how they were telling health professionals and hospitals to basically, if it was a death by any other method, or like pneumonia or whatever else it was, but they were tested positive, you have to say that was a coronavirus.
And they even rewrote. I've even seen medical friends of ours who've shown that they're
inflating numbers.
No, they've rewritten the forms for the death, like the death certificate forms and the reporting forms in some hospitals, and they're saying things like, I mean, you got a leukemia patient that's like stage 12, stage 4 cancer, or whatever. They're days away from death, and they contract the coronavirus, they die, and then they're like, coronavirus. Yeah, that's a big contributing factor there. And then, like, a guy comes in with a heart attack and he didn't have coronavirus. He contracts it, he dies of it and contracts it before the autopsy. And they test him and they're like, nope, he died of coronavirus. I mean, there's stuff like that people are just like, anything. If you got near somebody with coronavirus and you died, it's like, well, how did he die? He was beheaded in a car accident. Did he have coronavirus, though? Because that might have been a contributing factor. It's getting ridiculous, guys. I mean, calm the heck down.
Yeah, that's all we're saying, really. Is just chill, and that's what a lot of our law enforcement and our government and stuff needs to also do, is just like
Chill.
That take a step
Use
back.
common sense.
Take a step back. And like read the mug.
Yeah, don't tread on me. If I'm driving around and just getting out of the house and I'm not stopping anywhere, talking to anybody or anything, how am I more of a risk than the person who's legally allowed? Do you know legally, you all could be going to Walmart every single day? Walmart, Fred Meyer's, Costco. There's no rule. And furthermore, they've told you not to hoard. So they have, in essence, in the middle of a pandemic, told you to go to the grocery store every 3 or 4 days. Because they told you if you have a family of 5 or something, or a big family, you're not allowed to buy more than 2 packages of meat. You can't buy more than like enough chicken or beef or whatever. It's limited to 1 or 2 per customer.
I thought, that's
So
interesting.
yeah, so they're telling you
toilet paper.
no. So they're telling you, don't hoard. Only buy 1 or 2 packages, but stay in your house and never leave. Well, in order to stay in your house and never leave until April 30th, I'm going to have to hoard a month's worth of food in my kitchen. So you can't have both. So they're telling people it's perfectly okay to go shopping to Walmart, Fred Meyer's grocery stores, all that. Grocery stores where shopping carts have always been a petri dish of contaminated goo since the beginning of shopping carts. You can still go there and do that. If you ever get stopped and someone's like, if you're just out driving around enjoying the day and someone pulls you over for being out and about, you know what? While the cop's walking up to the window, I decided I'm going to Home Depot to get light bulbs. Where are you going? What are you doing? I'm going to Home Depot to get light bulbs. Okay, go ahead. All right, thanks. But if you were to say, but if you were to say, I'm just driving around to enjoy the day because it's bright out and I want to, you're getting a ticket. It's stupidity to the nth degree. It is stupidity squared. I think we need to end the madness, stop the stupidity, take a chill pill. That's what I'm saying.
That's good.
Just relax.
Yeah, take a chill pill.
And as always, until next time, we'll talk to you later. This is the J&J Show.